Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready if you're ready. You ready? That's a good sign. It says we're up, and that's where we are. We're up and we're rolling. We are live again at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance in Kingsport. Good morning to you on a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and absolutely gorgeous out there right now. It's going to be very nice as the day wears on. We've got some inclement weather tomorrow. Got a wind advisory tomorrow for everybody from 7 o'clock tomorrow to midnight tomorrow night across the region. So we will tell you all about that, as Ben will as well. The weather is going to get a little interesting. A little rain, a little wind, and we need that, of course. Always need the rain. But we do have a chance of some inclement weather tomorrow across the region. Hey, we're live again at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, the #1 insurance agent in several states. He's going to be by and talk to us in a few minutes. Also, we're going to be joined by Hank Brown from WeRunEvents.com. Again, it's road racing season. Of course, it's NASCAR season as well, but this is the two-legged variety. And so Hank will be by and talk to us about that. Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park will join us. Also at the bottom of the hour, the NASCAR late model champion from Kingsport Speedway, Cress Van Dyke, will be along. We'll get a chance to hear Cress, and a very articulate young man. He speaks very well for himself and for the sport. We always start our show by dedicating the man who hung on the cross, and here it is. The verse for the day is out of the book of Joshua. It says, "I will never leave you nor forsake you. I have engraved you in the palms of my hand." I will never leave you nor forsake you. I've engraved you in the palm of my hands. Can't beat that when the man hung on the cross looked down at your names on his hands, and he took it for you. Whew, that's pretty strong right there. Good morning, Ben Foy. How you doing, my friend? Oh, living the dream, brother. Like a hog in a trough, in the trough of life. I love it. So get a chance to hang out here and talk sports for 2 hours, and hang out with you and hang out with Jim Cline and all his great staff here in Kingsport. So it's all good. That's where we are, broadcasting live again on this, as we said, this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. The final day of the month. Tomorrow's March 1st. It would appear, Ben, coming in like a lion tomorrow. We'll have some, could have some bad weather tomorrow, some inclement weather, as they say. Tell me what's going on with the forecast. Whoa, so it's kind of a roller coaster. Warm, cold, rain, wind tomorrow, wind advisory for the entire region all day long tomorrow. So, yeah, welcome to East Tennessee weather. If you don't like it long enough, or if you don't like it, just hang out, I should say. It'll change, and so it sounds like it's what we're going to be getting. But, again, right now, currently outside the studios, it is what? 61 degrees on this final day of February 2017. We're live here at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. He's got lots to tell us as we move through the show here. Auto insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance. He does and does it well, obviously, and we'll have Sandy tell us here during the break because he doesn't like to brag on himself, but that's okay, we're going to. He's the #1 agent in several states of Farmers Insurance, and with good reason, does a great job. We have insurance here with him, so we can tell you firsthand he does a phenomenal job, and so he'll be along with us here in a little while to talk about Farmers Insurance. We're going to take our first break and come right back, and we've got all kinds of news to talk about. I guess we'll start, we got a basketball segment coming up. There's lots of basketball. The Bucks did not get it done last night. The Daniel Boone girls did, and some of the other teams did as well. The Science Hill girls did not, so we'll run down how things went in girls basketball last night at the regional semifinals. The losers, of course, eliminated. The winners keep on playing for 2 more games, and so we'll tell you who's playing. Of course, the guys play tonight across the region. We've also got, we also have, baseball. We've got the NFL Combines, college basketball, top 25, Major League Baseball. The Pittsburgh Steelers made some moves in their roster overnight, so The Washington Redskins making some moves on their roster, so we got some NFL news as well. Lots to cover between now and 1 o'clock, so we'll take our first break and come right back, and we'll do just that. We're live at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance on Facebook Live on an AM 790 WETB. Sandy? How many states? How many states? Give them to me again, please, as always.
Alabama, Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia,
South Carolina.
no, we are not in South Carolina.
Kentucky.
No, not in Kentucky.
Pennsylvania.
Georgia.
Georgia. Mr. Cline is, hello, Facebook folks. Mr. Cline is the #1 farmer's agent in 5 states, of course, Tennessee, Alabama, Ohio, Virginia, and Georgia. How about that? That's pretty good for an old country boy out of Colonial Heights. That ain't bad at all. So there you go. Again, like us and share us. Again, everything you would want is at TomTaylorSports.com. Again, Facebook Live. You can listen to us on the radio live. Like us and share us, and we would thank you for that. Over 1,000 views yesterday on the show. So thank you. As they say in Germany, gut danke, I believe is how they say it. So anyway, thanks a whole bunch, and we appreciate you, again, allowing us to come hang out with you every day. Yesterday at the Speedway, tomorrow Chick-fil-A, Thursday Champion Chevrolet, and Friday got a surprise spot on Friday, which is going to be pretty cool. So anyway, that's what we've got going on, and we'll be back ready to go with you here in just a second. Hello, Mr. Foy. All right, let's see here. 20 seconds. All right. I got down to that one and one other one, so, you know, hopefully we'll get a praise. That'd be a cool place to be. Cool. Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live again at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, the #1 agent in 5 states. How about that? 247-5400. Room for you, of course. All he wants to do is get a chance to shop his insurance with you. And so you can do that by simply calling 247-5400. Again, Trace, who answers the phone, or Sandy, or Karen, any of the folks here. Sometimes Jim answers the phone too. Just whoever needs to grab it, grabs it. And so, again, if you're looking for automobile insurance, homeowners, we'll let Jim talk all about this coming up here in a few minutes. He'll be with us. But again, he's the #1 farmer's agent in 5 states. That tells you, obviously, he knows what he's doing. He takes care of his customers. Alabama, Ohio, Virginia, Georgia, and of course here in Tennessee. So if you take all the farmers agents, just take one state, take Virginia, or all the farmers agents in Georgia, or all the farmers agents in the Buckeye state of Ohio, or Alabama, and of course here in Tennessee, and he's #1 in all 5 states. Pretty impressive for an old country boy from Colonial Heights. He's a piece of work. We call him a big old tall drink of water. He's about 6'12", and so he's a big old strapping lad. So anyway, he does a great job. We appreciate him very, very much, and very proud to say that we have insurance with him as well. So good stuff. Let's take a look at pro football and college football. See what's happening there. Of course, the combine comes up starting this Friday, running through next Tuesday, March the 6th. So there are some folks out there, particularly with the Tennessee Volunteers, that, boy, listen to that music right on cue. Thank you, Ben Foy. Again, that you would think will run them down for Tennessee, that may go as #1 draft picks. They got to do well. It's a very, very exhausting, if you will, 3 or 4 days of going through the paces. It'll be happening at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. The Volunteers have, 6 guys: Derek Barnett, Josh Dobbs, Cameron Sutton, Jalen Reeves-Maben, Josh Malone, and Alvin Kamara, trying to boost their draft stock during on-field tests, body measurements, interviews, NFL executives and coaches. And so after the program's 2-year drought, Tennessee has a strong chance of having at least 3 players go in the first 3 rounds. And so it'll all depend on how they do, starting Friday, running through next Tuesday, March 3rd through the 6th, the combines for over 300 athletes that will go up there and kind of strut their stuff for the coaches and see how it'll go for them before they get ready for the draft coming up in April for the college football draft for the National Football League. Mississippi State doing what we can to keep Dan Mullen as long as possible. Now, here's a guy that's been kind of okay, and they're going to give him a pay raise of $4.5 million and sign him to a contract extension. How about that? University announcing they've extended Mullen for 4 more years through the 2021 season, just a few months after the program suffered its first losing season in 7 years. So, as a losing season, they give him an extension and a pay raise. Now, how's that work? That's nice. So, how's that go, Ben? If you have a losing season, you get a pay raise. Anyway, they're scared they're going to lose a guy. I guess what it's going to come down to. He's going to be making $4.5 million this season. The 10th highest paid football coach in the country. How about that? And the guy had a losing record. He is 61 and 42 over 8 years. He's really done a great job at Mississippi State, all things considered, but last year was a subpar year for the Bulldogs. He is 12 wins away from tying Jackie Sherrill's all-time winning record at Mississippi State, so they said, we don't want you going somewhere else. And that's kind of what a lot of these schools do. They sign these contracts, these coaches, more as a cover your tail than it is to reward the coach. In this case, again, he's had 1 losing season, and it was last year, but again, they've extended his contract through 2021, keeping 4 more years, and again, paying him $4.5 million a year. So I would think that somewhere there's a party tray today at the Mullen house. He and Mrs. Mullen, I'm sure, are celebrating a losing season with a $4.5 million raise. How about that? Nice. That's nice stuff there. So, Pittsburgh Steelers pro football news. As expected, the Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell is not leaving Pittsburgh anytime soon. The stories coming out of Pittsburgh, he became the 3rd player yesterday to be franchise tagged ahead of tomorrow's deadline. Shortly after that, the team confirmed the move, and so Bell, which means there isn't even a slim chance he's going to be going anywhere else. So the Cardinals chose to tag Chandler Jones. The Panthers moved to tag Kawan Short. And so the Steelers tag Bell. That means if they're unable to, both sides have until July 15th to reach a long-term contract agreement. If they're not unable to do that, and Bell signs his tender, he's projected to make about $12 million for the upcoming season. How about that now? Could you go to Food City and shop, Ben, if you could get $12 million in your checkbook? You could buy some Cheetos and some, Pop-Tarts and taters, whatever, right? Wouldn't you think? Yeah, it's not bad bread. There you go. Antonio Brown, another Steelers story. Antonio Brown, without question, one of the league's best receivers. Now he's going to get paid like it. Antonio Brown signing a new 5-year contract with the Steelers, keeping him there also through 2021. His deal's worth nearly $73 million for a new 5-year contract. So there you go. A couple of guys going to step up, make big bucks. Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown are not leaving the Steelers. They're there for at least 4 more years. Then breaking news this morning, the Redskins have a franchise quarterback in Kirk Cousins, but apparently do not want to pay him like one. So if they can't get together on terms of a multi-year deal in the coming months, Cousins could be elsewhere this year. The only place he says he wants to go would be to go to the San Francisco 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, who was in Washington at one point and was the offensive coordinator in Washington when Cousins came into the league 5 years ago. So if, in fact, that happens, Cousins would have to play on a 1-year contract worth, I love how they say this. The two sides would have to bang out, or have until July 15th, rather, to bang out a deal. If they don't, poor old Kirk will have to play a 1-year contract for $24 million. So I don't know how in the world he's going to make it, making $24 million for 16 ball games. And they said, if he, if we can't get a new contract nailed down, he'll have to play for $24 million. So there you go, Ben. I don't know how in the world could a man lay his head on the pillow knowing he could only make $24 million for 16 games next year. What is the world coming to? It's just not right. It's just not right. Give me a break. Good grief. Give me a break. The last time I said I wouldn't take that kind of money, my pastor sent me a text and said, take the money and tithe it. So That's pretty much what he said last week. I got on my soapbox about not taking the kind of money they're doling out. I don't need that kind of money. And he sent me a text and said, take the money and tithe it. Give it to the church. I said, okay, all right. So anyway, so what's happening in the National Hockey League from last night on the ice? Montreal skated past New Jersey in overtime 4-3. Tampa Bay got by Ottawa 5-1. Minnesota in overtime skates past LA Kings 5-4. Here's where they're playing tonight, or skating. Nashville skates in Buffalo against the Sabres. Arizona at Boston. Colorado at Philadelphia. The Capitals will be in New York skating against the Rangers. Columbus and Montreal, Carolina and Florida. St. Louis Blues will be home to Edmonton Oilers. Minnesota Skates at Winnipeg. Pittsburgh at Dallas. Los Angeles at Calgary. The Vancouver Canucks. I love that name. I'd love to have me, I don't know, license plate says I'm a Canuck. That's just a cool name. Hello, I'm Tom Canuck. Vancouver Canucks and the Detroit Red Wings and Toronto Skates at San Jose tonight in the National Hockey League. So there you go. Right now, the standings, the Atlantic Division, Montreal on top there. The Metro Division, the Capitals of Washington, the top team there. In the Western Conference, Minnesota, the top team of the Central. And the Pacific Division of the National Hockey League, the San Jose Sharks are the number one team there. And Nashville right now, inching a little closer to the top. They're now third. At one point were fifth. They're now third in the Central Division behind Minnesota and the Chicago Blackhawks. And then comes the Nashville Predators. So there you go, the National Hockey League. That's what's going on there. And the Predators skate tonight in Buffalo against the Sabres. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We thank you for being with us again on this Tuesday. We're on the road again at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance again in Kingsport. Again, the number one insurance agent in 5 states, Alabama, Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia, and Georgia. And again, they have the program called One and Done. We'll let him tell you all about that, where you make one phone call and it goes right into, they go into high gear to take care of you and your needs. And it really, it really is a great program, this One and Done program from Farmers Insurance. I've used it myself before. And brag on Sandy, I guess it was last year. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I guess it was last year. Going down the road, it was at night, it was just bone cold, and for whatever reason, going through Colonial Heights, and a rock hit my windshield and just did a spider crack. I mean, I wasn't going fast, and the truck in front wasn't going fast. It was so cold, it cracked the glass, and I got a spider crack on my windshield. Called the next day to Sandy, and she said, "Here's your deductible, and here's where you need to go." And by that afternoon, I had a new windshield. So there you go. They don't waste any time here at Farmers Insurance, and we throw around the fact that he's the number one agent in 5 states. There's a reason for that. It's called customer service. Another time I had this is 7 or 8 years ago, I had a situation where I needed some help in my car, and there was actually I was parked in front of a school and it got broke into. And so did some damage to the window and the door. However they tried to pry it, looked like with a crowbar, tried to pry the door open. Anyway, make a long story short, called Sandy, and I was actually doing a live broadcast at Food City in Colonial Heights on a Food City Friday. They came out, threw them the keys, and they got out there and went over the car while sitting in the parking lot of Food City. Guy comes in and hands me my keys and a check. Said, "Here's where you go take your car to get it fixed. Here's 3 choices of certified farmers mechanics and garages. Here's a check to get it fixed. Have a great day." And I never got out. I'm in there doing a live broadcast on the radio. So that's the kind of customer service you get when you deal with the folks at Farmers Insurance. And that big old tall drink of water, Jim Cline of Farmers Insurance at 247-5400 is the number to call. And he does a wonderful, wonderful job. Yes, sir. Doesn't have the right thing, just doesn't have enough oomph to it when you say I'm Tom Canuck. Okay. No, it probably doesn't. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm not even sure. We did this once, what a Canuck is, but I just like it. I'm a Canuck. So I don't know. We went through this a while back to see exactly what a Canuck was, and I've slept since then, so I'm not sure what it was, or what it is, but yeah, I guess you should. But it's a cool name. So anyway, the Vancouver Canucks are skating tonight at home against whoever I said, and so it's all good. Tom Taylor Sports Show, we thank you for being with us. We got Jim Cline joining us coming up in a few minutes. Hank Brown will stop by to join us from WeRunEvents.com. It is the season. Of course, the granddaddy of them all as far as his events would be the Crazy 8 Road Race coming up in July. You say, well, that's ways off. No, it's not. It's not that far away. You look on the calendar, we're going to be March tomorrow, starting into March. And so, 3 or 4 more, 120 days or so, you've got the Food City, or not the Food City, but the Fun Fest, part of Food City. Food City helps sponsor it, the Fun Fest Crazy 8 Road Race. So it will not be that far before it's here. Of course, he has a lot of events between now and then. The WeRunEvents.com website. Hank's going to join us. Also, Chris Van Dyke at the bottom of the hour is going to be along to join us. The NASCAR late model driver of the Kingsport Speedway. The guy, look beside his name, there's a lot of W's beside Chris Van Dyke's name. He is a solid, consistent winner at the Kingsport Speedway. And then also a bit later on, Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Parks will stop by and give us the update on what's going on up on the mountain. For $5 a carload, you can't beat it. And so all that going on. Plus, again, as we said, Jim Cline will be here to join us from his office here in just a few minutes to talk about some of the different options of insurance you can get from the #1 farmer's guy in 5 states. Don't forget tomorrow, a wind advisory tomorrow morning from 7 o'clock till midnight tomorrow night for everybody. Winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, gusting to 45 miles per hour tomorrow for everybody here in the listening area. So wind advisory tomorrow for everybody beginning tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock and running through midnight tomorrow night. And as Ben said, some rain coming along with that. So it's going to be a chance for some inclement weather, I guess is what you would say. And you heard him say it's going to turn cool and then warm back up. So we're on that roller coaster. Let's see, the first day of spring comes, March 21st. So we're roughly 3 weeks away from the calendar, the first day of spring. I did get on IQ last night and checked again the extended forecast all the way through at least the 20th of March. It's pretty much 50s and 60s during the daytime and 30s and 40s at nighttime with a couple of dips down to the 20s. So, Ben, I think the weather forecast, what they're showing, of course, it's I guess it can always change, but what I'm seeing for the next 3 or 4 weeks is pretty much mild weather and nothing like we're normally used to for this time of year here in the mountains of East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. There you go. And indeed we will. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We will hear from Cress Van Dyke, the late model driver from, and also the Wheeling Open Modified, or not the Wheeling Modified, but the Wheeling Series, and also the late model driver with a lot of success behind his name at Kingsport Speedway. Cress Van Dyke joins us coming up next year at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance on Facebook Live at AM 790 WETB. There you go. What I'm thinking about is go ahead and set our, so it's slang for a Canadian, Canuck. Okay. Let's set our timer here, Bubba. Actually, we can come back and do a baseball segment and then take another break and do, shoot, shot right past it. I'll do, now it'll take a while for basketball. Let's do a baseball. Take me out to the ball game, do Major League Baseball. I'm going to hit 36 and run it right now.
All I have is jillianwilson@gmail.com.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. What's that mean? She come back your way? Well. There you go. So that's it. Hey, Bubba.
You know?
Good. I got the light off so I can see the camera. The camera don't blare me out. So I don't normally work in the dark, but
That's all right.
let me do this baseball segment. We'll get right to you.
All right. All right.
You want a bottle of water?
Great.
Help yourself here in the fridge. Just act like you're at home. Nah, they don't care. Sandy, we're taking water in here. Good morning, Jerry Keller on Facebook. Hello also to Bill Patrick on Facebook. Bristol Half and Half Marathon and 2 others just shared our video. Thank you very, very much. And we're back in at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, the #1 insurance agent for farmers in 5 states: Tennessee, Alabama, Ohio, Virginia, and Georgia. That's a pile of people, and that's awesome. We got our basketball segment coming up. We've got the new top 25 in men's and women's college basketball, high school basketball, the NBA. Of course, The men's top 25 had another upset last night. We'll tell you all about that. And, of course, who's playing where tonight, including the Kentucky Wildcats at home tonight at Rupp Arena. We'll tell you all about that a bit later on here. Hank Brown joins us coming up in a few minutes. Also, Chris Van Dyke will join us in just a few as well, as we're live here again at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. Winners yesterday in Major League Baseball. Ben, I think it's funny. We talked about this yesterday, Bristol Motor Speedway, about teams that have done well or done poorly last year. They come out of the gate and it's not a big deal. The Reds are now 0-4. They lost again yesterday to Arizona 6-1. So they're over in spring training. You know, I disagree with the folks we had on yesterday saying, yeah, it's no big deal if spring training is just that, spring training. But yes, it is a big deal for me anyway. I played the game when you lost as many as the Reds did last year. They were 35 games out of first place and come back out of spring training and they're 0-4 already. Psychologically, you got to go, gosh, here we go again. I would think. I would. I'm only human, so. Well, I remember our coach used to scream at us we played ball. He said, winning's a habit and losing's a habit. So I think it's becoming a habit in Cincinnati. But anyway, other winners, the Yankees, the Cardinals, Detroit, Minnesota. Daniel Norris still yet to pitch in spring training. I think today he gets some time on the mound. Tampa Bay, the Pirates, the Angels. Of course, Daniel Norris from Johnson City on the starting rotation of the Detroit Tigers. Houston, the Royals, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Colorado, Oakland all get wins. The Cubs and the White Sox played a 4-4 tie. At Arizona, the Reds, as we said, Arizona beat them 6-1. Here's who's playing today in in spring training. You got Baltimore and Philadelphia. You got Detroit and the Yankees, Houston and Washington, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, the Mets and Miami, the Cardinals and Atlanta and Kissimmee, Toronto and Pittsburgh, Arizona and Texas, the White Sox and the Reds in Goodyear, Arizona. Oh, that'll be a butt whooping by the Reds. Cleveland, they're going to take another one, I'm afraid. Cleveland and Oakland, Kansas City, Milwaukee, the Cubbies and the Angels, Seattle and the White Sox, the Dodgers and Colorado, and San Francisco and San Diego. You go, it's really cool or not cool, but really sad. And all these months we've heard about the drought in California. Now saw where Petco Park in San Diego is underwater in downtown San Diego for all the rain they've had out on the left coast. So Petco Park, I thought of that when I read the Padres playing the Giants in Arizona in spring training. But Petco Park is underwater right now in downtown San Diego with all the rain they've had again in California. So that's what's going on with Major League Baseball. Again, we are here live at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. We're going to take a break, and actually, he's here. He's ready to go. He don't need to take a break. I'm looking at him over here. Let's get him on our video right now. We appreciate him coming by here. Slide that chair over, big guy, and make yourself cozy and comfortable. We're going to get him on the camera, and we'll let everybody see this guy because he is awesome. And he's the director of so many running events, and of course, the granddaddy of them all, the Crazy 8 Road Race, our buddy Hank Brown. And yes, we'll start having him on a regular basis because 'tis the season. And, all right, let's get him over here and see if I can see him. And there he is. Let's turn his microphone up and say, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Tom.
Yes, thank you for stopping by. I know you're extremely busy. Are you on where I can see you? Are you there?
Looks like it.
There
I
you
got
go.
all dressed up for it.
There you go. Got all spiffed up, and that's good. Got you there. And how's it? You've had a great fall and a great winter. And how's the missus? Everything good?
Oh, she's great. We've had a nice winter. We've had some time off from the races, so we're ready to go right now.
Gearing back up and ready to go. And so the Crazy Eights, I jokingly said before you got in here, it's going to be here before you know it. It really will be. But you've got some other events between now and then, and kind of bring us up to speed. First off, what We Run Events is all about, and then talk about some of your events coming up.
All right, I appreciate that, Tom. Well, We Run Events. We, as the name suggests, we do put on events, mostly running events, and we are kind of a timing company, but we manage all aspects of the race, and most of our events are for charities and nonprofit organizations. So we're always glad to help them out, and we can take it all the way from the first registration process all the way to the race day, and timing and getting results out. doing all that for these organizations.
How many events do you guys do in a calendar year, ballpark number?
Around 50 a year.
Wow.
That's usually between the months of March and December. So sometimes we're doing 2 or 3 a weekend.
Yeah, so in over really a 9-month window, they're doing about 50 events. You can do the math. They're very, very busy. And again, the Crazy Eights is the kind of the pinnacle of all they do. But you've got some other good ones coming up. And chronologically, what's up next on the old calendar?
Well, our first event for the year is coming up this Saturday, March 4th. It's called Run for Your Buns 5K.
Yep.
It's for colon cancer awareness and colon disease awareness, and we're pretty excited about that. Franklin Woods Hospital is hosting it. The Goose Chase organization, we work with them on a lot of events, and they always do a great job. And so we're excited to get started and get our climbing equipment up and blow the dust off and have a good race Saturday. Looks like a pretty good turnout, probably 200 runners or more. And the weather's looking good for that one.
We had Karen Hubbs on last week. In fact, she's going to join us again tomorrow at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. And I thought it was cool, instead of the typical T-shirt that you get, which is okay this year, for this particular event, they're passing out boxer shorts.
Boxer shorts, right. Yeah, I don't even know what size I wear in that.
Only Karen Hubbs would come up with something like that. So,
Yeah.
But it really is for a great cause, because it is cold. Tomorrow, of course, starts a new month, and March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and so it's a silent killer, and it's a killer that you'll talk to our buddy Dr. Fenvis at Tri-Cities Gastroenterology. It's a disease that can be, you can catch it just by having a colonoscopy, and so the fact that we're talking about colorectal cancer, that's the whole point, to bring awareness to it. And so the race is all about that, and it's coming up again on Saturday, the Run for Your Buns 5K, and they can go to your website and find out more about it, and of course go to the goosechase.org too. So.
That's right. WeRunEvents.com or goosechase.org.
Yep.
Place.
Like your beard, by the way.
Well, thank you.
I really do like that. It's got the salt and pepper look thing
There's
going.
a lot more salt than pepper. But yeah, it's
Hit the bell on that. That's good. So
yeah, Natalie, we were watching one of these award shows, and every one of these guys that got up had a big beard, I said, what's with all these beards? And he said, hey, I like them. So that was all it took.
all it took.
Yeah, the missus likes it. So
Mama's happy. Everybody's happy. So
Yeah.
good stuff. We're talking to Hank Brown from WeRunEvents.com. And again, the first one coming up is this coming Saturday. Then what's next? Tease us. What else coming up?
yeah, we got so on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, and actually this is the Shamrock 4 miler. We do this every year, and it's a really a fun event in Abingdon. I call that the capital of Southwest Virginia. Run through some of the historic areas of Abingdon. It's a Friday night race. It's a lot of fun. They have bands playing afterwards, and it's a really a great one. There'll probably be 6, 7, maybe even 800 runners in this one. So we're looking forward to that. And so every so often it actually falls on St. Patrick's Day. So this is the year. Everyone will want to come out and do that one. And that's Shampton Johnston Memorial Hospital Foundation. So that's a good cause there.
Are you on? I can't see. Are you on camera?
Yeah.
There you go, right in the middle.
Yeah.
I want to get you on a little closer and you can see that, so they can see the beard. I like the beard. It's looking
Yeah.
good. So that one's coming up in Abingdon, St. Patty's Day, and for someone out there who's not running, who's never ran, and obviously they want to make a change in lifestyle, begin to run. You can't go out and do a 5K overnight, but how would you recommend? Because you've been running all your life. You start walking a track for 4 or 5 laps, and then work your way up to a light jog. I mean, how does someone start? Because it's something everybody can certainly do. So, how would you recommend somebody getting started?
Well, that's a great question. And the best way, really, is just as you said, is to start with a walk, jog routine. And there's a lot of, you can go on the internet and find these programs now, and it will suggest, to walk so many minutes, then jog so many minutes, and just keep adding to it each time you go out. And add distance, and then you shorten your walking segments and you increase your running segments, and eventually you're out there running. It's a lot different than when I started. Everybody felt like you had to run the whole way. A lot of people got frustrated and quit because I can't run. Well, by walking and jogging, and then eventually running, you can do it. And almost anybody can do it, and it's a great activity. It's been something I've been doing since I was 12 years old. And when I was in junior high school, it tells you how old I am. They don't even call it junior high school anymore.
I'm right there with you, Chief. I'm right there with you.
The basketball coach made us go out for the cross country team, so that's when I started running. I hadn't stopped. It's something you can do, all your life, and it's a great activity. So that's a good question, and we highly recommend it. And it's a good time of year to get started.
Absolutely. Weather's beautiful like today. Now, you've been running since you were 12 and you're 21 now. So, what is the optimum for you? I mean, what's perfect condition to go out there and run? Today like today, or a little cooler?
Today is actually perfect. Around 60 degrees. Actually, for a race, if you're running a longer race, and we're going to talk about the Bristol, half and half marathon here coming up. We would love to see a day in the 50s. That's actually ideal for the runners. Your body doesn't overheat. But just on a regular, going out for a daily jog or a train run, 60s, 70s is ideal.
Yeah. Talking to Hank Brown again. We're live here at Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. Crest Van Dyke comes up here in just a few minutes. Again, the late model NASCAR driver from Kingsport Speedway is going to join us. It's 23 before the hour. Again, a wind advisory tomorrow. Got some rain and some storms coming in. Wind advisory for all of us beginning at 7 o'clock tomorrow to midnight tomorrow night. The gust will be, or I should say, 20 to 30 mile an hour sustained winds, gust up to 45. So it's going to be breezy and windy tomorrow, so just give you a heads up. And so, but a beautiful day today, and it's going to be warm tomorrow, but given the fact there's some storms coming, so we'll make you aware of that. The half and half marathon, tell us about that a bit. It's another good one. They're all good.
Yeah. Well, that one's pretty special to us. It benefits American Cancer Society. April 8th in Bristol, and we're actually going to run all over Bristol. We start at Virginia High School and we finish at Tennessee High School. So we run a lap on the track at Virginia High, and then we go all the way through. And what we want to do is showcase all the really beautiful neighborhoods and historic homes and just nice areas of Bristol. So this course does that. Now we'll go up and down a few hills along the way, but we'll finish in Stonecastle, Tennessee High. So this is April 8th. It benefits American Cancer Society. There's also a two-person relay. So if you can't run the full half marathon, which is 13.1 miles, you can grab a partner and run half of it. Roughly half of it's in the state of Virginia, the other half's in Tennessee. And we've added a 5K option this year. So someone can't do either one of those and come out and just run the 5K, which is 3.1 miles.
Talking again to Hank Brown, of course, one of the reasons he is so passionate about helping out with the American Cancer Society, I think everybody knows, or they don't know, you're a cancer survivor, as is Natalie, and so every chance you can go out to help proclaim or put the word out there, then you're all about that, right?
That's right. We are, and Natalie and I are both cancer survivors, so we always like to help any organization that's benefits cancer, and the American Cancer Society is as good as they get.
There you go. Now, one of the coolest things on my calendar every year, I sit down at the end of the year and I look down the line and go, okay, what's coming up? And it's always one of my favorite events I get to do personally is the MC, the Crazy 8s Road Race, and the walk and the Special 8s. And we jokingly say it's way down the road, but it really isn't, because we look up and tomorrow's March 1st. It'll be here before you know it. But that's kind of the granddaddy of them all, and that's the one you got going, and I'm very proud to be the director of this race. And it's the one everybody kind of circles the calendar for, to be the Crazy 8s Road Race. It'll be here before you know it.
Well, that's true. It's July 15th, part of Fun Fest in Kingsport. We just unveiled the shirt design this year, just this morning on Facebook. So it's being passed around Facebook. So we invite everyone to go out to our Facebook page, the Crazy 8s page, and take a look at the shirt design and share it and tell us how much you like it.
Did you do it or Natalie?
Well, Natalie. Natalie is the creative mind in this partnership.
Yeah, last year she came out. I thought it was really cool. The trophies last year were bricks. Was it last year or the year before you had bricks for trophies?
Last year was the bricks. We had a kind of a graffiti theme last year, and so we had a graffiti design, and she came up with the idea of giving out bricks with a placard on the top, on the front of it. Yeah, it was really nice.
Of course, this year I'm anxious to see what they come up with as far as trophies. They are, of course, Kingsport celebrating the 100th anniversary of the city, so it's going to be a special Fun Fest and it is a special year already for the Model City. So Looking forward to it July 15th, the Crazy Eight.
That's
So
right. Yeah, everybody be there.
there you go. One more time, again, plug this event coming up this weekend. It's a first time event, is it not? Run for Your Buns.
It is the first time event, Run for Your Buns, and Karen has done a great job getting it going. And you know, we always like working with Karen because she's very well organized, promotes her events really well, and you know we work well together. So we're looking forward to getting everything rolling Saturday, and we'll go just about every weekend from that point forward.
There you go. And of course, if you have an event where you'd like to create a race for a nonprofit, and here's the guy you want to talk to because he's a master at doing it, obviously. And so you can get a hold of him by simply going to WeRunEvents.com and say, hey, I'm interested in putting together, creating, making up, or whatever the adjective you want to use, a race, a 5K or a marathon or whatever. Here's the guy you want to talk to, and he can do it, and obviously do it very well. The proof's in the pudding. This will be number what for the Crazy Eights?
27th annual.
27th annual. I do this every year, and I'm going to, between now and July 15, we have our press conference, or right before that. I'm going to find out how many road races have started. I don't even know where to start looking, but do some research. How many have started and are still going strong 27 years later?
Well, I don't know. That'd be a good fact to find out, but there's not many.
No.
There's some old time races around. Of course, like Boston Marathon's been going on over 100 years, well over 100 years, but not many. And there's a few in the area that have been going in 30s, 30 something years. Or the Eastman Road Race, one of them. But there's not many.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hank Brown, WeRunEvents.com. Always a pleasure. Thank you. I know you're a busy man and with your day job, and I appreciate you coming by and talking. But we're going to have you on a lot between now and all over the rest of the year because it starts racing season, and every chance we're going to get you on either by phone or in person to promote what you got going on. We appreciate you very much.
Well, I'm always glad to come, and always appreciate you having me on.
Oh, yeah. He and his wife are awesome. You look under, for my book, you look in the dictionary under class, there's a big 8x10 glossy of a man now who has a beard, Hank Brown, and his lovely sidekick, Miss Natalie. So there you go. I do like it. Appreciate you, my friend. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, great job. Hank Brown with us. Quick break. We'll be right back. Chris Van Dyke joins us as promised again from the Kingsport Speedway, the driver, and we'll get him in, and we're looking forward to hanging out and hearing Chris Van Dyke from the Kingsport Speedway joins us coming up next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live with Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, again on AM 790 WETV, and also on Facebook Live. You're listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Thank you. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hank Brown, Jim Cline, Crazy Eights Road Race.
Yeah, comes right by here.
Yeah. There's Mary Stedman.
Hey, Tom Taylor.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hello, dear. How are you doing? Got all the stars are out. So, everything good?
Doing good?
Everything good? Otherwise, yeah. So you're back in Kingsport working?
I am. Yeah, I'm over glass buildings over on Stone Drive, and Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
They split into two companies, and our company moved to Kingsport, so I'm back in Kingsport. Glad to be here.
Yes, please. This goes straight into Chris's interview. Yeah. Well, you can do this as long as I can get you loaded up, and March 17th I'll be at Food City on Eastman Road. That'd be a good one to come to because isn't that the race is that night?
That's that night, yeah.
So I'll give you a hoot and a holler and just let you swing by there that day and promote it. So let me shake your hand. You're awesome. It's a privilege to work with you every year, my friend. I can tell you that. You're the man.
What are you doing here? This is good.
Yep. Thank you very much. All right. Hello, Facebook. So you get a chance when you watch on Facebook, get the behind-the-scenes stuff, shaking hands and drinking water and picking your nose and all kinds of stuff, whatever we got to do. So, but we do appreciate Hank. He's awesome. So, and you look at a guy that's a cancer survivor and his wife both, and they want to get out and spread the good word and the good cheer, and that's great. So, he's top shelf in my book. So, Chris Van Dyke's coming up next on the radio, and we of course will tell you to go to TomTaylorSports.com, and thanks to Appalachian Digital, we couldn't do it without them. That would be Jeremiah and Michael, and they're doing a phenomenal job putting out the social media for this show. It's growing by leaps and bounds thanks to them, and thanks to you for watching and listening. And we're in there a little bit kicking things around. So But we appreciate it. And so go to TomTaylorSports.com, like us and share us. You have been, and we appreciate that very much. No, we'll come out of this and do the probably do the basketball. Yeah, it'd be good. Trying to think here. Yeah, sure, we're gonna come on at some point and talk. He's got people with him now. Guess that's why you're number one in 5 states. You busy. Yeah, he's a great interview. How about that? Chris Van Dyke, in fact, is going to join us live on Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. Now, tell you what, I've met some of these drivers, and they're all about, he said, wherever you need us to come, we're going to be there. We're going to be hearing from Bobby Ferguson in the next couple of weeks, driver out of Jonesboro. He's got 40 on his car because it's his 40th anniversary of driving. So Wayne Hale is going to join us out of Bluff City in the weeks to come. Also, later on this week, we're going to hear from L.B. Harrison and also his son Blaine, little 10-year-old guy out of Grundy, Virginia, that is driving, I'm sorry, not Grundy, out of Tazewell, that's driving the Bandoleros, a little go-kart looking with a body on it, then that's not a very good description of what they do. But he's going to join us a little bit later on. Also, Ronnie McCarty out of Kingsport, who's had a lot of success at the Kingsport Speedway. So it is here and upon us, and not that far away, of course. Racing again coming up again for the Kingsport Speedway in Lonesome Pine. And again, thanks to Chris Van Dyke stopping by. Hear the music, Sweet Georgia Brown. Let's take a look at men's top 25 college basketball. 2 upsets last night. North Carolina gets beat on the road at Virginia. The 5th-ranked Tar Heels, their lowest point output since 1979. 43 points is all they could put up against UVA. Cavaliers beat them in Charlottesville 53-43. Charlottesville's Cavaliers 23rd in the country. North Carolina was 5th. They'll certainly drop, obviously, after losing last night. Also, West Virginia goes on the road. The Mountaineers going to Texas and battle the Baylor Bears and lose by 9. West Virginia 10th in the country. Baylor was 11th, so that is a mild upset, but upset nonetheless by 9. It was another upset was in the making, but didn't happen as Kansas holds off Oklahoma 73-63 was the final there in that ball game last night in men's top 25 college basketball. And there was another upset. The Virginia Tech Hokies in Blacksburg knocked off 25th ranked Miami of Florida 66-61 in men's top 25 college play. So 3 upsets. Again, I've said this and I'm going to say it again. March Madness is wide slap open. It's anybody's tournament. I'm telling you. Gonzaga losing over the weekend, the number 1 team in the country. We have a new top 25 out this week. Kansas, the new number 1 team. They were behind parts of that ball game last night. They had to come from behind to win it. Kansas, Villanova, UCLA, Gonzaga, and North Carolina the top 5, although the Tar Heels lose last night. Then comes Oregon, Arizona, Louisville, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Keep in mind that North Carolina still has to play Duke, who's 17th in the country. Their rematch of the home and away will be coming up, I believe it's this weekend, getting ready for the ACC tournament. So Kansas, Villanova, UCLA, Gonzaga, North Carolina, Oregon, Arizona, Louisville, Kentucky, and West Virginia are the latest in the top 10 of the AP College Basketball Bowl. Speaking of the Duke Blue Devils, they're at home tonight in Durham against the Florida State Seminoles. The Noles at 15th in the country at 23-6. Duke at 22-7 will play each other tonight in Durham. Also, Indiana will go into Purdue to take on the 16th ranked Boilermakers tonight. As we told you earlier, Kentucky, the Wildcats at 24-5 at home tonight at Rupp Arena against a dangerous Vanderbilt team. They came into Knoxville last week and pounded the Volunteers. But of course, Kentucky and Tennessee ain't the same, obviously. But it's the Wildcats hosting Vanderbilt tonight at Rupp Arena. And 24th ranked Iowa State will be hosting the Oklahoma State Cowboys tonight in men's top 25 college basketball. Also, you have out of the NBA last night, let's run those down for you. Your finals, the Warriors beat the 76ers by 11. Raptors over the Knicks, 92-91. It was the Heat the Mavericks defeating Miami, 96-89. It was Indiana over the Rockets by 9. The Timberwolves defeat the Kings by 102-88 score. It was the world champion Cavaliers defeating the Bucks, 102-95. Hello, how are you doing? 102-95, and again, LeBron James, a double-double, 24 points and 10 rebounds for the world champion Cavaliers. And then the Hawks beat the Celtics 114-98. People look at it and go, why are you sitting in there with no lights on? Well, it's because the overhead blows out the online or the camera for the Facebook, so I'm sitting in here without the lights on. That's okay. We work in the dark. We're kind of like a big 6'5" mole. All right, let's see who's playing tonight. Golden State of Washington, Portland and Detroit. The Bulls at home against Denver. Phoenix and Memphis tonight. Utah Jazz at Oklahoma City. And the Lakers hosting Charlotte tonight in men's top 25 college basketball. Girls top 10 right now, or top 25 this week for the ladies in college basketball. And it goes as follows. To no surprise, UConn number 1. Then comes Baylor, Notre Dame, Maryland, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Oregon State, Florida State, Ohio State, and Stanford are the top 10 this week in girls or women's college basketball. So that's what's going on there. Last night in high school basketball, it was a AAA night, AA night, and single A night in the girls regional. AAA Daniel Boone eliminating Morristown East 47-31. Morristown West eliminates Science Hill 65-57. And the AA tournament at Unicoi County, Granger's ladies beat Happy Valley 70-36. Also last night it was Greenville over Chucky Doak 53-52 in girls play. And Region 1 Single A tournament play at Chucky Doak. South Green, the number 1 ranked team in the state for girls basketball. South Green Lady Rebels over Cloudland 73-38. And the Hampton Lady Bulldogs defeat Northview Academy. Final there was 52-43. So the regional championship, AAA, will be at Science Hill Thursday night. Daniel Boone's Lady Trailblazers at 29-4, taking on Morristown West at 28-3. In the AA regional championship, Granger 24-7 takes on Greenville 24-10, and they'll play that one at Unicoi County High School. And then the Region 1 Single A Girls Regional Championship at Chucky Doak, South Green, the number 1 ranked team in the state in Single A basketball, at 30-4, taking on the Hampton Lady Bulldogs at 20-12, and that's going on again, as we said, on Thursday night. The games last night, there were some big games played, and of course, you look at the opportunity for Science Hill to move on. They did not. Courtney McCurry finished up her season, her career, with 20 points on a losing cause for Science Hill. It was Sydney Pierce leading Daniel Boone with 13 points and 4 blocks. Montana Riddle added 8 points for Daniel Boone, and their big win last night as they got a big W over Morristown East and moves on now to take on Morristown West, as the Trojans and the Lady Trailblazers both ranked in the top 10 of the state in AAA basketball. And so big wins last night there. Also in the AA and the Single A tournament, Hampton, Megan Garland had 20 points and also a dozen rebounds. Cheyenne Tuelle, Tuelle, for Hampton, scored 13 points. Leanne Grubb got it 12.9 from Leanne Grubb for the Hampton Lady Bulldogs in that win. South Green's big win over Cloudland, it was. Clear the throat here just a second. Excuse me. Braylon Weichel scored 9 of her game-best 20 points in the opening period to kind of get South Green going. Taylor Lamb had 9 points in the third quarter alone and finished with 15. Also, T.K. Franklin and Morgan Williams had 13 points and 10 points respectively for the South Green Lady Rebels. So big ball games. Again, Happy Valley losing their game 70-36. And so Granger got them pretty good, 24-7 record as Granger. And again, they'll take on Greenville Thursday night in that championship. So again, for Happy Valley, Shaylin Whitson, the freshman, led the way with 11 points and 6 rebounds. The only Happy Valley girl in double figures as they lose the game. Again, the final score was 70-36, a Mercy Rule win for Granger. But again, the Lady Warriors had a good season nonetheless. So tonight, stage is set for a barn burner. Several barn burners, as we told you, for the gentlemen tonight. Again, we'll start in AAA basketball. Everything being played at Science Hill tonight. At Science Hill at 24-9, taking on Morristown East at 23-10. Now that's one of the regional semifinals. The other one is Crockett 18-14 and Daniel Boone 18-13. I'm going to tell you right now, the gym at Science Hill is going to be rocking for that second game. Daniel Boone and Crockett playing each other on a neutral site. Again, could be one of the biggest games in the rivalry, history of the rivalry of these two teams. Tip off at right around 7:45 tonight. Not only is a berth in the regional finals, but also the winner gets a spot in the sub-state of the sectional. If you win that one, you go into the state tournament. Science Hill, riding an 11-game winning streak, is in the same boat as Boone and Crockett. They'll take on Jeff County at 6 o'clock. Daniel Boone has not been in this spot since 2010. Crockett was there last year, eventually earning a spot in the state tournament with a road win over Oak Ridge. But again, both teams ready to go. They played each other 3 times during the regular season. And so it's... again, it's going to be, as we said, a barn burner tonight. Again, it'll be Crockett and Daniel Boone at Science Hill in that second game. Crockett beat Boone in the Hardee's Classic, which we broadcasted here on this station back in November. Then Crockett beat Boone at home in the Big 7 game on January 3rd. And Boone came back and got a win on its own home court, 60-57. So in 3 games, the total margin of victory has been 6 points. So needless to say, it's going to be tight tonight. Play's going to be rocking. And quite frankly, this is what it's all about. This is what you get ready for back in the summer and all these camps.